Oh, 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 oh. Hey, yeah.
So sure enough, I got 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later now, I got a letter from her sister telling me, "Hey, by the way, my sister's in South America and she's doing fine, but she didn't say if she was married or anything." You know? So I was like, "Wow!" And that started me on a thought. I started thinking about her that day as I was talking to a friend and said, "Hey, you're getting older, and you know, are you ever going to get married?" And I said, "Well, there's only one girl that I ever met that I really want to marry, and I don't know where she is, but but anyway, I started thinking about her, and then I thought, wow, that's cool. That's really good to know, but I didn't. At that particular time, I was in Africa, and I was doing a mission there in Africa, in Senegal, and I didn't. And it just so happened, all this happened at the same time. My term was over there. My visa was over, and it was time for us to go. So I went back home on furlough. I went back to the States, and I would always pray for her. I would always think about her, and from that point on, you know, and it just kind of rekindled that love for her, that concern for her. But I would started praying for her, and it's about the same time in the same mission. I was contact with a lot of the other missionaries around the world that I knew, and I was still interested in South America or in the Caribbean, South America. And there was this pastor who had a work in Venezuela that I was in contact with at that time, and I was telling him about my desire to go back to the Caribbean or in South America. He said, "Hey, you know, we need volunteers or workers to come to Venezuela." And I was like, "Wow, yeah, Venezuela. That seems interesting. I've never gone to that part of the world." And so I shot up some words, prayed a little bit about it, and I got to go. Like, why don't you? And I thought, just go to South America. So sure enough, I packed my bags. You know, I was being home for a while. Said goodbye, Mom and Dad, and I went to Venezuela. Now, I really did not go with the intention of bumping into her. Really, I just wanted to go back in that area. I wasn't thinking about it, but it just so happened that I knew the same people that she knew in the Venezuela area. And we were talking, I'd been there about 3 days, and the people that were working in the mission there said, "Hey, by the way, you know, do you know Teresita?" And I go, "Oh, Teresita, yeah, that's right, Teresita. Oh," I said, "You know her too?" "Yeah, blah, yeah, blah, blah, blah." And then they say, "Hey, by the way, she's in Venezuela also now." And I thought she must be gone by now, because I wasn't sure her sister was very vague in the letter about her sister, about Teresita, where she was, and I wasn't really. But these people knew exactly where she was. Not only did they know where she was, they also had her phone number, where she worked, where she was working at the time, and so after 5 years. She never received one letter, no word from me, nothing, even from her sister. I get her phone number. Sure enough, I call her the very next day, and she answers the phone after 5 years. No contact whatsoever. And I'll let her tell you that next part.
Okay, so yes, the reason I didn't receive his letters was because I was traveling too. I had gone to Holland, was in, Dominican Republic, I was traveling back and forth, and I was traveling different places also. And yeah, when I was in Venezuela, I I had taken up a job in a hotel. Like sometimes we do part-time jobs to help us, you know, in our mission work. So I had taken up a job in hotel as a receptionist at the front desk, you know. So I was working there, and New Year's came along, and usually New Year's, you know, you make plans for the new year, and my desire for the coming year was to have a change. I needed a change. I wanted to do more for the Lord. You know, I made a promise to, you know, be more dedicated, to do more, to you know, help out and just do whatever I can. But it was really hard, just me and my son, of course, even though we would go in different missions and everything. But it's really hard to do things when you don't have a partner or you know, a companion to help you with. So my prayer for the new year was to for the Lord to give me a mate, a husband, a companion, a friend, a close friend, somebody to work closely with and serve the Lord together with, and to be a father to my child, my son, who was at that time about 6.
Yeah, about 6.
So I got on my knees on New Year's Eve and I prayed. And I said, Lord, I really want to change this year. You know, I said I would like to have somebody in my life, somebody who really loves you first. Because I'd met different people before who, you know, had different priorities, different goals in life. And my goal in life was to do something for God, to make a change, to make a difference. So I wanted somebody on the same page. So I was praying, and in the middle of my prayer, I heard the name Monte. I heard his name. He had a nickname at the time, but you know, Monte. And then I thought I was hearing, you know, voices or hallucinating or whatever. I mean, I wasn't drunk. Usually New Year's Eve, you know, everybody's drunk or whatever, drugged out or something. But at that time, I don't think I had maybe, you know, more than a glass of wine or something. I'm not sure even. But anyway, I was praying. I heard the name, his name, Monte, and I heard it very clearly. But you see, previous to the prayer, I had seen his picture in a magazine of Africa. You know, these Christian magazines that go around to different places and missions. And I realized, wow, he's really in a nice place. He has a nice job. He has a nice mission. He has a nice ministry. He's really set there in Africa. I had no idea that he was not there or going to be there, or, you know, I had no idea. So I said, I started arguing with the Lord, like we so often do. And I said, well, that's out of the question, because he is in Africa, he has his ministry, he has his job, he has his work going. I mean, how are we going to ever get in touch with each other or anything? And by the way, he's probably married by now, because it was like 5 years ago. And so I just said, okay, either I'm hearing voices or I'm just really not thinking or whatever. I just stopped thinking about it. I finished my prayer. I felt really good about it, and I went to bed. And I went to sleep. I had peace, you know. I knew God was going to do something. I didn't know what, but when you pray, God always answers prayer. Not in the time you want Him to answer it, but in His time. So I went to sleep with a peace in my heart, knowing God had heard me. So I went back to work, you know, resumed my work after vacation and all the festivities and holidays. 2 weeks into the year, actually it was the 13th of January, I was answering the phone as usual, because that was my job, to be a receptionist, you know, to answer the phone. And suddenly, well, I picked up the phone. A familiar voice said, "Teresita." And oh dear, I knew who
Wow.
this was. After all these years, I remembered this voice. And I thought, oh no, this is it. It can't be. I said, "Monte, where are you?" And he said, of all things, he said, "I'm in Venezuela right now." And I almost dropped the phone. I was so shocked. I didn't know what to say, because here God had showed me the future. He had given me his name as like for being the answer to my question of having a husband. And here he's calling me, and he's in the same country as I was. So I felt so embarrassed. I didn't know how to relate to him, what I would tell him, how I would relate to him, what God had told me or anything. I said, you know what, I'm not going to say anything, you know, because I really don't know what's happening. So what I did was, well, we made plans. I said, oh, it's so nice to hear your voice again and everything like that. Let's meet up. So that's when we decided we're going to meet up. We made an appointment, like a couple of days later, we would meet each other. And, well, this is next what happened.
Yeah, that was quite a ride. Well, okay, we made the appointment, and that next morning I was like, wow, hey, I'm going to go see this girl, you know, and I like, whoa, I mean, I'm just as awkward as she felt, I was on the same side, like, I, still, oh man, there must be somebody that she is with by now. But I just felt that, wow, urge to really to see her again and talk again and kind of maybe renew our friendship. And I mean, really, by that time I thought, oh my God, I don't want to get into that again. But I liked her, I always liked her as a friend and stuff. So I thought, cool, I'll go there and see her. And I got in this. My 3 days of being in Venezuela, right? And I get on this bus, it's true. It's like the native, just the native surroundings, going through the mountains, and people, African American in Venezuela. My Spanish wasn't that good, and it was like the chickens and all the stuff on top of the roof, and all the people everywhere crowding in the bus, and I was like, 4 hours on the bus, going to this town. So I get there, and we made this appointment to meet at a bowling alley that she knew, and they had a big sign there. So I get there at the appointed time. I think it was 1 o'clock, and I'm looking at my watch, and it's 12:45. Okay, I'll be on time. I'm standing there. 1 o'clock. Oh, okay, ladies are always, maybe she's the last bit, prepping or whatever. 1:10. 1:20. 1:30. And she wasn't there. And I was like, oh my God. I don't know where I am. My Spanish wasn't that good at that time. And I went back in the shop and I started, maybe I get a caller again, and I tried to call and I couldn't get through. It was they wouldn't answer the phone. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my God, and it's like, Lord, have mercy on me. I'm way out of here. And I saw, oh, maybe she just, I don't know, so go back out, 1:45. Okay, I'll stay here another 15 minutes. I'm just going to have to see him going, because I couldn't get in touch with them or anything. And I said, I just have to try to find them or something. So anyway, at 2 o'clock, she pops up. she comes running up with her little son, you know, to the spot, and I'm like, wow, what happened? But it's like I could care less, because when I looked at her face, it was just like, wow, she's really here. And, you know, and I went, we talked a little bit, oh, you know, how's it going, da, 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 and played with the little guy. And sure enough, she invited me back to her home, and I went back to the home where she was staying, and it was nice. It was just like I felt like, I'm home. It was just really, it was the weirdest experience, but I knew it was like an end of a trip, of an era, and we were supposed to be together at that time. I didn't know how much, but I was like, okay. And
can I explain what happened to me?
Sure,
my
sure,
son?
okay. She'll tell you the rest. So.
No, I'll tell you what happened, why I was late. It wasn't because I was putting on my makeup or anything like that. I actually changed my mind.
Oh my God.
I actually changed my mind. I said, I'm not going to face this guy. I had told him this, 5 years ago, I did not want to marry him. I was really embarrassed, and I thought, oh gosh, I'm not going to face him, forget this stuff, just let him stay at the bus stop or whatever. I'm not going to go there. And I was really thinking back and forth, should I not, should I not. And then the Lord said, go. And that's when we ended up. I had to run, because if I didn't, I would definitely change my mind and go and turn back. But, sometimes what God tells you to do, sometimes you don't really want to do it. A lot of times in life, God tells you to do something, but you fight the Lord almost. But He has a plan in your life for you. But a lot of times we don't want to do what God wants us to do. So I was actually fighting the Lord. I said, oh my gosh, I don't want to... here God showed me the future. Sometimes He tells you something, He shows you your future, or He tells you what is going to happen in the future, and you still, human nature, like say, oh no, because it's scary, and it's like, wow. So that's what happened, basically. I was really scared. Anyway, when we arrived there, we were happy to see each other. We were just like small talk, hi, how are you doing, and everything like that. And it didn't come up anymore, that we just like forget about it, water over it,
It's like,
because it's like we didn't want to talk about that. We just remembered us being good friends. We talked about the times and what happened and our travels, and we exchanged, the things that we went through during those times, and we ended up actually becoming really good friends again. And actually, he asked me then, he didn't ask me to marry him, but he actually told me then that he was looking for a partner to sing with. He needed somebody to have a music ministry with, because he was also usually on his own, performing here and there, and he really wanted somebody to work with and have like maybe a duo with, or have a group that he would perform together with. And I said, so when he asked me, would you like to have a music ministry with me, and I'm like, okay, but I don't know how to sing, what am I gonna do, smile? So I said, if you teach me, I'll try, and so that's how I said, okay, I'll work with you, and we'll started singing together. We started practicing together, and we started performing everywhere, and that's how our ministry started, and we were like getting close. We got closer and closer and closer, and after that we went back to Aruba, where I'm from. At that time they used to have a ferry going back and forth from Aruba to Venezuela, and also back and forth, but at that time, I think they stopped it now. But so we used to go back and forth for, visa purposes and stuff. And then we went to Aruba, and actually this month, the last day of this month, we got married. So
You got to kind of put it together a little bit.
Yeah,
You know, we got closer.
closer.
Then we got really closer. And then we said, before we get too close, let's get it together. So,
yeah. That was this month. So we're
That
going to
was-
have our anniversary, and that was that was 79.
It's 1979.
So that's how much? 36 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank God.
Yes.
It's just.
And after that, we had 9 more kids. So altogether, we had a bunch of 10. And yeah, we traveled the world, and telling people about the Lord. And our testimony has always been a real encouragement to people who pray for things that doesn't happen, right away. So when you do pray, I just want to encourage you that God's delays are not denials. And when you do pray for something, even if God doesn't answer your prayer right away, He will eventually answer your prayer. It might take a day, a year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5. But God, the first time you pray, He's heard it. He's heard your prayer. When you pray, God will answer your prayers. Sometimes it's not His time because maybe you're not ready. Or maybe the person is not ready. When you pray for a person in your life or something like that. Or even for something that you want. So the best thing is always to wait on the Lord. And He will, do it in His time.
Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and He shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord.
That's right. So, and also don't give up. Don't give up. Keep loving the Lord. Keep trusting in Him. And keep praising God, in every situation. Even though you didn't get your prayer answered right away, or you didn't get what you needed right away or what you wanted, but God knows best, and He knows what you need when you need it. So
Amen.
That's what happened to us, and I hope it's an encouragement to you about answered prayer.
Amen. He really answers.
Yes.
So thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed our little story today. And don't forget, if you'd like to see more of our videos or hear more stories from us, log on to our website, thecaglefamily.com, and our show site is montecagle.com. There it is right under the bottom. And give us a ring sometimes, or write us a letter and we'll write you back. And if you have any questions, just feel free to write us and drop us a note, and we'll get in touch with you. So, thanks for listening. Don't forget to pop by the Cagle Family store and check out some of our latest products and things that we have to offer from our family. Until next time, lots of love from all of us to all of you. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.